What's up, Fleek family? Today we're going to be talking about the best clothes you should resell in winter. In this video, we're going to be focusing on jackets, fleeces, and all that sort of winter clothing. What prices you should buy it at, what prices you should sell it, and where you source it from. Let's go. The first thing is, what should you be selling and kind of the mindset going into it. As usual, we're doing the classic thing. We want brands with high perceived value so you can get the maximum amount of money for the item you're trying to sell. And you also want brands that can sell fast so you can get rid of the stock quickly. This way you can maximize your profits and make it really quickly. Therefore, you make a lot of money fast. And that's what we're here for. Now, although that does sound great, we also need the stock to be accessible. So obviously there are some really expensive brands. You might not be able to get your hands on bulk stock where you can actually make a profit reselling it. So we also want to focus on stock you can actually get your hands on at huge scale and make some good money. Whether you're a beginner, so you can buy it in small amounts, or if you're an advanced reseller, buy a lot of it and make some really big money that way. So the first and hopefully pretty obvious brand is Carhartt. I've got a Carhartt jacket here. If you're a vintage reseller and you don't have a vintage Carhartt jacket, lock in, because these things are absolutely amazing. So many people love these. They literally have a cult following. Carhartt jackets are one of those things that if you can source in vintage, you will make so much money, because you can see examples selling on eBay for upwards of £200, and these things don't cost that much to source. Another great thing with Carhartt jackets is there's loads of variations and they're all worth quite a lot of money. The one I just had on was a Detroit jacket. You can also get the active jackets. They're worth a bunch. And even some of the Shacket style jackets still go for a lot of money. Honestly, Carhartt jackets is one of the best vintage items to resell. Super fast sales speed. Pretty easy to source if you're on the Fleek app, and they sell for loads of money, especially if you've got some luck on your side. The main Carhartt jacket you are after, however, is the Detroit jacket. These things can fetch some crazy money, and one of the awesome things about Carhartt is you actually don't want grade A jackets. Hear me out here. A lot of the best-selling Carhartt jackets are actually a little bit dented, a little bit stained, a little bit ripped, and I think this adds a lot of character. Generally, when people want to buy workwear, they want it to tell a story, and that's the whole point with vintage Carhartt jackets, and that's why grade AB bundles are really, really good. You have a really good chance of doubling, if not quadrupling your money on some of these. Obviously, if you are going to be trying to buy any, get on the Fleek app, check it out. We have loads of Carhartt jacket stock on there, which is perfect to buy this winter season. You should be aiming to buy these for around 40 to 60 pounds. This way you'll guarantee you get a pretty premium bundle at that price, and this will definitely increase your chances of getting some really good Detroit jackets, which is really what you're after. And then you should be aiming to sell these around 80 to 160 pounds plus. Although this might sound ambitious, the price of Carhartt jacket really varies depending on the actual make and model. If you get a certain version from the 1980s, the 1970s, even the 90s, these can be worth a lot of money. So it is a bit of a gamble. You're really hoping you get those high value pieces to make a lot of that money back up in the bundle. But for me personally, it has always paid off. It's some of the best stock you can buy. And again, the sales speed, the cult following, this really is the #1 bit of stock you can buy this winter. And the second best item is actually totally different to Carhartt jackets, and it's in fact North Face fleeces. And the reason these are so good, opposite of Carhartt jackets, super cheap to buy. Carhartt jackets come in at a super premium price point at that 40 to 60 mark. But North Face fleeces are way cheaper. You can buy them from about £10 to £15 per piece, and these things can sell really well. You really want to be aiming for the Denali. I think that's how it said, Denali fleece. This is what it looks like. These things sell really, really well. And you can double, triple your money on things like this. And this is a really good item if you don't have that higher budget, but you still want to get in and get some good premium stock. Picking these up for £10 a piece, you can sell these for £30, £40 all day long. Vinted, eBay, Depop, wherever. Also, the stock generally, it's been around for a long time. You're getting really nice vintage pieces that can sometimes fetch a premium, but also everyone's heard of the brand. Everyone knows it's high quality. And honestly, this stuff kind of sells all year round because it's such a good piece of clothing. It's been around for years. And as usual, you can source this on the Fleek app. We have loads of this stuff. Now, keeping on the North Face train, the third best item you can get is the North Face puffer. Now, a little bit weird, a little bit of a throwback item, but the Nuptse is such a good seller. Even now, even though it's not super trendy, if you don't know the North Face jacket back in the day, the Nuptse used to be a very trendy jacket, a little bit hype beast. However, it's very similar to the fleeces in the fact that it's kind of kept up its brand legacy. It's not as popular as it once used to be. If you can get some of the brighter colors, it's actually great. But in winter, this can be like weirdly hard to source. Although there's a lot of stock out there, in summer, very easy to buy. But in winter, the stock sells very fast, and that's because some vintage resellers really just cling onto these jackets and yeah, get very like attached to them, and they will just buy up all the stock in the market. That said, if you order these early, there's loads, you can get them at a great price. You generally buy these for around 40 to 50 pound a piece, which is way more premium than people think. A lot of people think they can get them cheaper. No, around the 30, 40, 50 pound per piece mark, definitely for these. However, that said, if you get some of the really premium jackets, you are looking at selling these for 80 to 150 pounds plus, pretty reasonably. People are really happy to invest in North Face puffers and spend that premium price point because they know it's a really high quality piece of clothing. It's going to keep them warm. The North Face is such a famous brand. One thing I do just have to note with these is when you get them, they're like super flat packed and compressed. So you basically need to like puff them up if you do want to sell them. That does require a lot of extra admin. You have to like basically whack them with a rolling pin for a while. You can put them in the tumble dryer with like some balls, like tennis balls, and that can like plump them up more. Just a little bit of like a side note, in case you want like a super smooth process, you do need to know that because these are an item that definitely need more prepping if you do want to get the maximum value for them. The fourth best item is a new one to this list this year, and that is Montbell puffer jackets. This is one of the most trendy items this year, and the Fleek team just hit me up and let me know sales are up 29% this month in November on this item. If you don't know Montbell, I think they're a Japanese brand and they're kind of similar to the North Face. They make really high quality outdoor gear. In the last few years, their Montbell jackets have been going crazy, and luckily enough, we've managed to get a bunch of bulk stock of these on the Fleek app. So if you search up Montbell puffer, you'll definitely be able to find some items. Because there isn't loads of stock and the demand for this stuff is just absolutely insane at the moment, you are going to be paying a premium price point. However, this will not disappoint you at all because not many people know you can source this in bulk, and the sales speed on things like Vinted, eBay, and Depop is phenomenal. You can buy these on the Fleek app for around £60 per piece for a really good bundle, and you're getting £100 per jacket all day. But you definitely want to be aiming for around £120, £130 a jacket. You want to be doubling your money with pretty much all of this list, by the way, but generally the cheaper items, you want to be aiming to triple. This item is just great because not many people know about it. It's definitely a great niche to expand into winter. Similarly to the North Face jackets, you kind of do need to pump them up a bit, either hit them with a rolling pin, put them in the tumble dryer with some tennis balls, that kind of thing. There is more prep involved. The fifth best item to resell this winter is Patagonia Fleeces. These things are amazing. In fact, I've got one. These things are absolutely amazing. The heritage, the quality, I love mine so much. This thing keeps me so warm, and because they're an amazing product, they have a cult following and they sell super fast. This is one of the great things with all of the winter products within the vintage industry. They've built up such a name for themselves. It's really easy to sell them because the item's known for its good quality, and that's exactly what this is. Patagonia is such an iconic brand. The quality is always so good. It lasts for so long. You really don't need to be worried about like grade B, grade A. Like all of this stuff is such high quality. All the zippers are going to be functional. Stuff like that you can kind of assume, obviously unless the listing states otherwise, but like you can kind of assume it's going to be good stuff because it just lasts for a really, really long time. Stuff like this, you don't really need to prep either. So if you don't want to do all the puffer jacket prep, you can get this out and just like, as long as you iron it and make it look good, these things will always look good in photos. With Patagonia Fleeces, you want to be aiming for the cinchular style, and obviously the crazier the pattern or the crazier the colors, the more money you can fetch. You can see examples of these selling upwards of £200, by the way. So if you do get lucky and get like a crazy fleece, yeah, you can get some big money. You can buy these for around £15 to £25. And again, the more you buy, the cheaper you get as usual, but a really, really good brand to buy. And sell price, you're looking at around £45 to £60. Generally speaking, if it's a good example, you can easily fetch over £100, no doubt in my mind. Like that's very common. Also, one of the great things about these fleeces, they generally have like an older audience buying them. It's generally people in their 30s and 40s who have way more money than you think. So they're prepared to pay like £80 for a nice fleece. And then kind of a bonus item, number 6 is Columbia Fleeces. Pretty similar actually to Patagonia. Iconic brand, super fast sales speed. It's got that older audience. You want to be aiming for the cinchilla or like zip up style stuff. It's all kind of the same. This has also reached the finance bro aesthetic. Columbia Fleeces are a little bit cheaper to source though. You can source these for around £8 a piece, which is just crazy because the quality on this stuff is absolutely amazing. The item basically sells itself. Columbia Fleeces, you want to be aiming to sell for about £25 to £40 per piece, but at those prices, you are going to be selling them really, really fast. I have no doubt in my mind. And Columbia Fleeces, they're a bit like the North Face Fleeces, super easy to source. There's so much stock on the market. You can probably submit a lowball offer on the Fleek app and get an even better deal. You definitely want to be aiming for 3x on stuff like Columbia Fleeces because they're so cheap to buy. You can make some amazing margins and some amazing profit. This one is definitely a great brand to really lock in on. There's a lot of stuff on Columbia and it's not spoken about too much. So that's a little secret for you guys. So there we go. That is my ultimate vintage resellers winter buying guide. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments. And if you do need to source any vintage clothes in winter, autumn, summer, or the spring, make sure to check out the Fleek app. We have got you guys covered for everything. We got you sorted out for any of these brands and so much more. If you're looking for Ralph Lauren, Carhartt, any of the other brands I've mentioned in this video, it's all on the Fleek app. Check it out, and I'll see you in another video. See you guys later, and have a good one.